Rafael Cordeiro came out and he's calling for Beneil Dariush to be the backup fighter for Poirier versus Oliveira. Okay. I love that. I love that. No. We're not saying we want the fight. We just want to be the backup for the fight. This backup fighter business is very real. It is some of the best marketing. It is some of the best positioning. It is one of the best pieces you can move on the chessboard today. And I haven't the foggiest idea how so many people are missing it. I do not know how. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't the cool position. It wasn't the uncool position. It was just the position for a while. Then Conor McGregor came out and said, I'm not a backup fighter, as though it was an insult. And all of a sudden, everybody wanted to follow Conor McGregor. Well, you can follow Conor McGregor and be just as unemployed as Conor McGregor was that night, or you can follow Kamaru Usman, who became a backup fighter, and his next match was for the title. You can follow Michael Chandler, who became a backup fighter, and his next fight was for the title. This is very wise stuff. It's very wise. And it's very hard for Dana, if he's the decision maker, to hear you be the only one to apply for a position and then tell you, no, I'm going to go with somebody that didn't even ask for it, right? It's one of those things where it appears that guys are getting major opportunities and a major leg up here just by asking. I don't know how you guys aren't up his ass and asking all the time. It's a great position. I'm confident in telling you that Beneil Dariush is now the backup fighter for Poirier versus Oliveira. I feel very confident in telling you that. Who else would it be? Well, like anything else, let's start with who else applied. Nobody. It's Beneil. It's a great move. And I don't know if my bigger problem is that guys aren't seeing this and therefore not thinking to do it. Full credit to Beneil. Full credit to Coach Rafael Cordeiro. But I don't know if my bigger problem is with guys not seeing it, or if my bigger problem is with guys not wanting to do it because Conor McGregor made a statement one time. And I will see guys in this sport all the time trying to follow somebody else. It doesn't work. You can try to be the next Conor McGregor, or you can be the first you. But turning down opportunity, what do you think? You think just Conor got them all right because he's had some big main events and made a few bucks? Do you think he's never got one wrong? I mean, just by example, he didn't get them all right. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? I mean, things happen. That's one that Conor got wrong. That made him not go to work that night, not get an opportunity that night. That's not the one that you want to follow. What is it uncool about being a backup fighter? Feels like you got it made. I sat at home and watched Michael Chandler go to Fight Island, which I never got to go to. I must tell you, I'm terribly jealous of that. Really wanted to go to Fight Island. I watched Michael Chandler get to go out there in fantastic shape because they put a full training camp in, get the experience when he hadn't been in the organization yet, get the experience of everything that goes on backstage, which was very wise and very helpful. I submit for you that him going to Fight Island and being a backup fighter was one of the reasons he had such a great performance against Dan Hooker. He was smart enough to go through that process. Nothing bad came from him getting down to weight. Nothing bad came from him getting with his trainers and his coaches, with getting his paperwork in, with going through the bubble in the process. And his very next match was for the title. It seems to make brilliant sense to me. I just can't figure out internally if guys are paying such little attention, right? Remember when Sandhagen did this? They were going to give Sandhagen a title fight, and they teed him up in front of the world with a microphone and said, who should get the title fight? And he goes, Aljamain Sterling. Okay. Remember when that happened? So I don't know if guys just don't follow the sport. All they want to do is talk about rankings, which is not a piece of the sport. There's a narrative, but they heard someone else do it. I don't know if that's the thing, or if they're not understanding the opportunities that come with taking that spot, particularly historically speaking. I'm telling you, Michael Chandler went and fought for the belt. I'm telling you, Kamaru Usman went and fought for the belt. This is off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you 5 more guys that weren't a backup spot. I don't know. The first time they ever did a backup spot, it was with Volkov, and they told nobody. Just by example. Some fight was going on in Vegas. We get to the weigh-ins between 9 and 11 a.m., and in walks Volkov. What the hell's he doing here? He's not on the card. Then we find out, oh, it's some backup business, and he even got paid to do this. Not only did he get the trip and he get the experience, get himself in shape, he got paid to get in shape and to make weight. Everything was great. But at that time, for reasons, I don't know, but reasons that they have changed their mind on, they thought it was best to just keep it quiet and only bring it in at the last minute. Since then, they've realized, look, this is good, solid marketing. Why not tell the world? So Beneil Dariush was smart enough to see this, or at least Rafael Cordeiro was smart enough to see this. I think it's a really great spot, and I don't think anybody should be above it. We're even seeing things at heavyweight right now. Some of our great names, right? Stipe's and John Jones are some of our great names that are complaining that they can't get an opportunity. We saw Francis come out, and his management at least claimed that he was slighted why Derek Lewis was going to fight Ciryl Gane. If you wanted to fight that day, why wouldn't you put yourself in the backup position? What, are you beneath it because you have the belt? It's a day at work in an industry that you do. Show up and have some pride in it.